Hello, my name is Paula Sanchez, and I'll be talking about the culture of peace and the values that compose this concept. So, first of all, what is the culture of peace? The birth of the culture of peace pursues the perception of peace beyond the simple absence of war or confrontations between nations, for what it has to do with overcoming, reducing, or avoiding all types of violence, and with their capacity and ability to transform conflicts so that instead of having a violent and destructive expression, conflict situations can be creative opportunities for meeting, communication, exchange, adaptation, and change. The culture of peace can be defined as a set of values, attitudes, traditions, behaviors, and lifestyles based on, first of all, respect for life, the end of violence, and the promotion and practice of nonviolence through education, dialogue, and cooperation. Also, the full respect for the principles of sovereignty, territorial integrity, and political independence of states, the full respect and promotion of all human rights and fundamental freedoms, the commitment to the peaceful settlements of conflicts, efforts to meet the development and environmental protection needs of present and future generations, the respect and promotion of the right to development, and lastly, the respect for and promotion of equal rights and opportunities for men and women, and the right of all people to freedom of expression, opinion, and information. The culture of peace is not only referring to the use of nonviolence in the forms of conflict resolution. Peace is not the opposite of war, but the harmony of the human being with himself, with others, and with nature. We are talking about a set of elements that make up our daily behavior as a social group, in which behaviors are modeled and learned from generation to generation. Some values that make up the culture of peace are equity, which is the condition where all reason dictates prevails. However, this is highly subjective because what is fair behavior for one individual based on his reason may be unfair for another. We also have tolerance, that is understood to mean respect for the ideas, beliefs, or practices of others when they are different from yours. Solidarity is that value that represents adherence to someone's cause. On the other hand, we have justice, which is the firm and constant will to give each person what is theirs or what corresponds to them. Dialogue is a talk or discussion between two or more people who express their ideas or affections in search of compromise. Freedom is defined as that natural faculty that man has to act in one way or another and not to act, for which he is responsible for his acts. And lastly, we have democracy, which is understood as the force or power of people. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to talk to you about a very important topic: social inclusion and its role in the culture of peace. Social inclusion is a process that seeks to guarantee that all people have access to the same opportunities and rights, regardless of their origin, race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, or any other condition that might generate discrimination. Social inclusion is essential to promote a culture of peace, since when all people are included and valued, inequalities are reduced. Empathy is fostered, and fairer and more supportive societies are built. Exclusion, on the other hand, can lead to violence, marginalization, and conflict. Social inclusion is essential in all areas of life, from education and employment to political participation and community life. When all people have access to education, equal opportunities are promoted, and the gap between the richest and the poorest is reduced. In the workplace, inclusion means that all people have the same opportunities of employment and professional advancement, regardless of their origin or condition. Social inclusion is also fundamental in community life, where respect for and appreciation of cultural diversity is promoted. and the active participation of all people in building a more just and supportive society is encouraged. Also, social inclusion is essential for building a peaceful society where all people are valued and respected. It is important to highlight that social inclusion is not only the responsibility of the authorities or the community leaders, but is a commitment of we all. We can all contribute to promoting social inclusion in our daily lives through action as simple as respecting cultural differences, denouncing discrimination, and promote dialogue and tolerance. In the summary, social inclusion is essential for the construction of a culture of peace, since it promotes equality, justice, and solidarity. Social inclusion is not only a fundamental human right, but it's a commitment of all to build a fairer and more equitable society. Let's promote social inclusion in our daily life and together build a society in a peace and harmony sense. Thank you so much for your attention. That will be all.
Hi, my name is Monica Tavera, and I'm going to talk about which is the relevance of the social inclusion in the culture of peace. First of all, I want to mention that it's really important to know and to discuss how the society is really diverse, because it's huge. It's not like a kind of law where people has to be in a certain way, because we have many kinds of people, of ideas, of identities also. So we must have this point really clear, first of all. So as we know that society is huge and diverse, we have now this point that that is when the social inclusion comes in. So we have to include everyone because we are all diverse and we're all different. I think that the culture of peace, that the social inclusion has a really important part in the culture of peace. Because when we all embrace this diversity, it's more easy to accept or to know that the social inclusion comes with it. It cannot be peace without the social inclusion, because many groups or ethnicities or communities are going to feel not in peace because they're not feeling included, because the inclusion also comes in laws, also comes in rights. So if these groups of people are not included, they can't have peace. And not only them, it's a thing about communities, about the whole world. So if we don't embrace our diversity, if we don't embrace all the things we are different and that makes us the people we are, the culture, the traditions we have, I think that the culture of peace could not exist.